episode 46, part 1 of Kenya's premier sports video podcast, the Three Quarters podcast. We'd like to remind you to jump onto the hashtag Road to Japan, support the Kenya Simbas as they are still looking to qualify for the Rugby World Cup in 2019 in Japan. And as we are all about supporting sports and sports travel, we've partnered with Moron Sports and Travel to give you this brilliant offer for the Dubai Sevens on the 1st and 2nd of December. So for only $999 you get the full Dubai experience over and above the rugby, which is your desert safari, your nighttime barbecue, and your Dow cruise. This and much more coming up on your screen. Before we start the Three Quarters podcast, we'd like to offer our sincere condolences to the families of Michael Kombe, John Wakesa and Peter Wakesa following their losses this weekend. I'm Demima Duffield.
This is Ngashi, official noisemaker.
Jeringus, Kenya now.
So this past Saturday we had the Impala Floodlights Tournament, 36th edition. I mean, that's a long time to be running a tournament.
Yeah.
Now, games that were highlighted would be the KCB-Kisii game, where, I mean, honestly, 2014 in favor of KCB. I don't know if you guys expected that. Then we had Strathmore versus Mean Machine, and that was 11-6 to Mean Machine. I mean, Machine have had a pretty good season so far. Mm-hmm. And then we had Sport Pesa Kenya Harlequins 16, Homeboys RFC 20. So, you know, I know Harlequins fans were definitely not happy with that. Mm-hmm. How did you find that? Yes, not pointing any fingers. How did you find that game, Gosale?
Let me start with the KCB-Kisii game. Yes, as you said, it wasn't expected. I really thought that KCB dragged riot to the Kisii RFC, but it was good to see that Kisii really brought the game to them. They're just been promoted recently to the Kenya Cup, so it's a good showing for them. We're looking forward for the Kenya Cup. I believe we're going to have some really competitive matches. KCB did field a weaker team, but not so much though. But it was a good game. I think that should have been the second game, not the first game. Moving on to the Strathmore Machine, the University Derby. I don't think these two teams were prepared for this tournament at all. It was very clumsy. I almost thought we were watching American football. The stoppages were too many. The basics were off. But nevertheless, yes, Mean Machine came out on top, grinding the win 11-6. Not too bad, but I think it should have been the first game, so that can have at least progressive
strategy. You get the fans in with KCB-Kisii, then they're stuck there.
Yeah, that's a good point. The featured game, Queens versus Homeboys, a game of two halves. I think the first one went Queens' way, 16-3. Then the second half, 17-0 from Homeboys. That was quite a game. The likes of Masai having a fantastic game, despite having been dropped from Kenya. I think he was trying to shout his name out. Dalmas as well, the back row, Homeboys, had a very fantastic game. I think even Andy, man of the match. Yeah, Homeboys really played this game in a very mature kind of way. Queens let loose towards the second half. A big blunder from Alex Ntune, and that could have really won the game. But nevertheless, a good start for the tournament.
Okay, what is that?
KCB versus Kisii RFC. Kisii proving that they're not going to be a walkover during this coming Kenya Cup season. But I mean, we have to take into account the fact that KCB were fielding a very weak team. Well, not a very weak team, but not the regular starters one there. I mean, they have 9 guys who've been called up for the Kenya Simbas. Strathmore versus Mean Machine, just to echo what Ngu said, it was a game that had so many errors. There were too many stoppages, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. I mean, we are still in somewhere in between amateur and semi-pro level. So when it rains, of course, you expect the standards of rugby to dip. And at that time is when it rained. But still a gutsy performance from Mean Machine to grind out the win 11-6, and of course earning a date with Impala next week. Feature game of the week, Sport Pesa Queens versus Homeboys. As Musa said, it was a game of two halves. But for me, I think Queens are the ones who threw away the game. It was largely, and this is my opinion, largely I think it was a technical bench fault. Because a couple of things. You don't take out, first, Kevin Kimoli was at scrum off, started at scrum off. The game was on the ascendancy, and he was having a very good combination with Alex Mtune, 9-10. Yep. I mean, these guys have played together from St. Mary's. Yeah. So there was that good 9-10 combination. You don't take away Kevin Kimoli when you're on the ascendancy, you see, and then you bring in your backup, your reserve halfback. Number one. Number two, Edwin Oseko at hooker. Who is that guy who came in? That guy could not throw a ball. There's not one line out that he got right. Not one line out that he got right. You take out one of the twin towers. 10 years later, I'm still unable to tell who is who. But you take out one of the twins, and then you have a capped prop in John Kilu, who's on the bench. He's played Kenya Cup. He's played for Strathmore till the finals. Then you bring in an under 20 guy. You see, so that's where the problem. I mean, you can notice Queens had very strong scrums. They were the ones who were dominating the scrums. So I think it was a technical mistake. I mean, there's what people keep on talking about, Alex Mutune, the 4-versus-1 situation where instead of passing the ball, he decided to take it in. Fine, but let's call a spade a spade. For someone who hasn't played for 5 years, he had a pretty decent game. And the fact that he was able to finish the 80 minutes, he had a pretty decent game. Isaac Ademo at number. Look, that's another technical issue. Isaac Ademo, you're either playing him at 10, 12, or 15. He went to 13. He was unable to bring his brilliance at 30.
That was what, the second half?
It was the second half, yes. Yes, he was unable to bring his brilliance in the second half, right? So, and I mean, kudos, don't take it away from Homeboys. Homeboys had a very good game, especially in the second half. Introduction of Mohamed Omolo. And I remember last year we were tipping him to be a star.
Yeah.
Fortunately, he moved from Impala, he went to Homeboys.
He can still come back.
Not now though. But Kelvin Masai was very good on the fringes, at the base of the rack, which is his strong point. These guys are the luxury of having Cyprian Kuto, Mohamed Omola, and the likes on the bench. So it's yes, we do give them the props that they are unable to claw back a win. I mean, you need mental fortitude of an high level to be able to come down from 16-3 down to win the game at 2016, sorry. But in all honesty, I think it was more of Queens throwing away the game than Homeboys actually doing good.
Well, maybe the technical team, Queens' technical team, were considering this more of a warm-up to the Kenyan Cup season.
I mean, clubs need to stop thinking like that it's a warm-up to the Kenya Cup season. I mean, 15th season has already started. So it's no longer a cut and razor. It's all systems go. Pre-season was before. That one is done. So it's all systems go. So I don't take it as an excuse. That's why you should be doing that.
And I mean, just to be honest, if you lose now, then Homeboys sort like how I look at it is they'll be like mentally they'll be on top they've got an edge.
Yes.
So next time they play Harlequins, they'll be like, yo, so we beat you at Floodlights.
Yes.
So now you've got to play catch up, even if that was not Kenya Cup, the actual Kenya Cup league.
True, and remember, Homeboys had a lot of their stars not playing.
Yeah.
Because they had featured for Homeboys during the 7th circuit. Yeah. So anyway, that's that.
Like security was already out. He's traveling with the Kenya team.
Yeah, Steve Otieno, that is. Yeah. Anyway, that's that. I guess there's nothing much you can add to that.
Yeah. Although I thought the organization of the tournament was pretty good. You're getting in and out. Your crowds were, there were definitely a lot of people who came. Mm-hmm. I guess there was a lot of people, not only us, looking forward to 15's rugby.
Yeah.
For the organizational bit, I think it's high time those stands were renovated or something needs to be done. You cannot be squeezing whenever it rains. You're trying to squeeze like orbits over there.
Embrace the rain. Embrace.
No. This is not a movie. I'm with Goose. It's time Impala think about renovating those stands. It's not. Come on. 36 episodes of Floodlights. And that's Floodlights. And how many times I hosted in Kenya Cup? And every time, let me tell you, even when Hong Kong came in 2016, when we had the Tuesday night test, how many guys did not go for that game because of the rain, right? So, I mean, it's time Impala think about stands. Let's be honest.
Well,
yeah.
I'm sure they'll keep that in mind for next year.
Yeah.
Impala, you've heard. All right, now moving on to next weekend, that's the semi-finals. Paired up with Impala, that'll be the first game, is Machine. So that'll give Impala, I think, some time to test out the system since we haven't seen them yet.
Not against Machine, but anyway.
No, I mean, when you use cones. Anyway.
Wow, okay.
And then the second game later on in the evening at 7 p.m. will be Homeboys versus KCB, which I think is the game everybody wants to see.
I believe that's the biggest one of the day. I think Machine celebrated the win against Strathmore, deservedly so, because I think that's the last time they win.
At Floodlights?
At Floodlights, yeah. And that one I think is more or less a walkover for Impala. Homeboys versus KCB. I'd like to see KCB bring out the big guns so they can have a proper game, but I'd still tip Hobos.
All right. The big guns that have not traveled.
Yes, they're not in the same bus. Same here. I think Impala are going to be superior. To superior for Machine. I don't think Machine can hack it. And I also think, KCB, there's an issue about Brian Nikuli's transfer documents. That's why he was unable to turn up for KCB this past weekend. But then they still have a couple of strong guys. However, I just sense that Homeboys are a bit more hungry for this Floodlights title, and that's why I think they're going to edge out KCB come the semi-final.
And they've been looking solid.
And they have
been looking solid.
They have been looking solid, no doubt.
So guys, in case you were there at the first weekend of the Floodlight Tournament, your photos will be up on Facebook. So like our page on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Demi Duffield.
This is Nyashi, official noisemaker.
Jerengus Kenyana.
Stay tuned for part 2.